young man growing up in Liberia saw all the American influence in the top positions back home. Studied because you did your dues and you got that opportunity. Like you got a ticket, a lottery ticket.
That's all I get.
You came to America with big dreams, big goals, and you were robbed.
I was
The
robbed.
moment you stepped off that
I was
aeroplane,
robbed in New York.
you were robbed in New York, JFK, in 1985.
For centuries, people have left their homes, friends, and loved ones with their goals in mind and their dreams in heart, searching for the American dream. What we don't know is the journey behind these stories. So come along with me as we explore and bring light to their stories on my journey to America.
So welcome again, guys, to another episode on My Journey to America. And today I'll be talking to a friend, a good friend of mine, and I've been in the US for 35 plus years and going. And today we'll look at his stories. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself.
My name is Alfred.
Alfred?
Yes.
Okay, so today we're talking to Alfred, and we're gonna go way back to come right forward to how we got here today on his journey to America. So you are from
I am from Liberia, born and raised in Liberia.
born and raised in Liberia. Okay, how many siblings?
I have, I would say, close to 14 siblings.
14 siblings.
Yes.
14 siblings.
Yes.
Same mom, same dad?
No, unfortunately, no. But I'll tell you a little bit of the background of my parents, especially
Okay,
my
go ahead.
father in Liberia.
Yeah.
My father was the justice of the peace, which was a judge.
Judge.
Yeah, and my mother's a midwife. So my mother only had biological children from my father, 3 of us.
Okay.
And my father had other kids before he met my mom. And
Oh.
then after that, as the African story goes, all the children came from all over the places. And then my mother reared the rest of the kids. So, all
okay.
my brothers and sisters. Yeah.
All right, so where do you fall in the 14?
I'm exactly number 8.
Number 8.
Yes.
I'm exactly number 8.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So, like, how was it then? Because given that your dad was a judge and your mom was a midwife,
Yeah.
how was it then from a financial standpoint growing up in Liberia?
Yeah, well, in America, probably we're being called like a middle class.
Middle class?
Yeah, but back home, we don't have class system. So my father, being a judge, he had big respect.
Big
And
respect, yeah.
But we didn't have the financial means to back up. So my mother worked as hard to deliver all the babies in the area where we grew up. And my father took care of all of the cases and as a judge. And that's how I was able to take care of the family and then send us to school.
Okay, good. So, all right. So, let us look now, because we often heard the term that the village, right? The African. How was the village like growing up with other kids, especially like when your dad was a judge? Did the kids garner respect knowing that daddy is a judge and mommy is a midwife, or most people are judges in your village?
Well, no, absolutely not. My father was one of the few educated people.
So he was
where I grew up.
educated, yeah.
My father stopped in the 10th grade. And in the late 40s and early 50s, a 10th grade education in third world country was almost considered like a college dropout.
Wow.
Yes. So I finished the 10th grade, so he was considered educated.
Yeah.
And my mother was a native lady who could read and write.
Okay.
So where we were considered in the
Could
eyes
not
of others.
read and write?
My mother could not read and write. She
Okay.
barely spoke English. But she learned how to deliver women from the hospital called Phoebe Hospital in
Oh,
Liberia. They had American nurses and doctors who trained, they called them traditional midwives.
so she was a traditional midwife,
That's correct.
not by academics.
No.
Because she never went to college. 'Cause she,
Never went to high
As
school,
it-
never went to college. It's a traditional midwife.
Does that practice still continue?
I'm not sure it does right now. No, right now there are other people who are practicing, delivering just from there, some other tradition. But my mother, those days, they were well trained.
Okay.
And I would say that I still have my mother's certificate here with me. And I'm willing to have a daughter so I can show it to her and encourage her to
That's a story for another day.
Yes.
So, were you born at home or at hospital?
Very interesting. You asked that question.
Yes.
My mother delivered herself. She had help from a couple of ladies,
Yes.
and she actually gave birth and directing other couple of ladies to help her get me out. And that's another part of the story I can tell, right now. But because of that, I was born with some kind of a disability, but you would never tell.
Wow.
Because I would have found it from my doctor where he said, "Oh, were you born in the hospital?" I said, "No, my mother delivered herself." And she started to recount what will happen.
Wow.
When a woman delivered herself. That's what she did.
Okay.
So very unique.
Did other parents ever come to her to deliver their kids, knowing that she was a midwife in the community?
Yes, every time the woman got pregnant.
So she would deliver other kids.
Yeah, she would start helping the ladies as they get pregnant through the different trimesters, I think they call it.
Trimester,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she would go and do the examination and help them through, all the way to the delivery. And sometimes, so the women can carry the baby all the way through because of complication.
Yeah.
And she recommended go to the hospital. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So talk to us now about, in terms of, because we see certain stuff on television. Talk to us about like running water. Were those things that present in your home, or did you have to go to a pipe for water? Certainly, me in Jamaica, we had to go to a river to get water. So talk to us about that.
Well, again, where I grew up, Liberia is a very unique country, as you might have probably heard or read about. We had people who had laid different standards, but with the area I grew up, I grew up in a corporation called a rubber corporation.
A rubber.
Salala Rubber Corporation.
What does that mean?
It means it was a rubber plantation that were run by a Dutch company. So they had like 5 different camps. Each camp comprised of several houses. So my father was in camp 2, but he oversees all the legal system in the whole corporation. So there, we didn't have running water.
So
We had a kerosene refrigerator. So
kerosene refrigerator.
So we were considered somehow bourgeois to have a kerosene refrigerator.
Yeah.
But it would take days or weeks to get just a little bit of ice. But we had a kerosene refrigerator. We had our bathroom and the toilet were outside the house. But again, it was like you might have probably experienced that in Jamaica.
Yeah, we
It's a hole,
experienced.
they dug a hole, and
Yes.
so far so good. So
So bathroom was outside.
they were outside, and in our house, very unique house, still there today.
Yeah.
We had a 6-bedroom house with a jail house that had a female and a male jail house. Jail. Like what the jail, the criminals.
Really?
Yeah.
On the house?
No, outside our house.
Outside the house.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay.
It was a 3-house compound.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
then behind the house was another house where one side was the kitchen where we cook food for the family.
Yes.
And the other side for the soldier. One soldier was assigned to my father to go arrest people and do all of that. So we were a little bit considered, and my friends would think that we were rich.
We were rich, yeah.
But we
gotcha.
had nothing because my father had too many kids, and we were just all struggling. So that's the background of my, growing up in Liberia and the section of Liberia I grew up from.
Okay. All right. So talk to us now about schooling. What was schooling there?
Well, I started school there at a company, South Raw Corporation Elementary School. The schooling was pretty much competitive. We had Peace Corps from the United States that came to most of the schools in the area. But that particular school was ran by company employees. So I started my elementary school there and then finished my elementary school. And my whole education journey started from that elementary school.
Yeah.
I was the second highest we call it deuce.
Deuce.
mean you top the class.
You're brilliant, yeah.
So we had to take a government exam, and I came in second.
Yes.
And that scholarship from that school took me all the way to high school. It took me all the way to junior college.
To junior college?
Yes. So I got a scholarship from the company.
Okay.
They sponsored me.
What you did in junior college?
Well, I would go, let me just give you just a brief history of my education from the elementary school to, I was taught to, before coming to America. Coming to America.
Yeah, because that's where we're coming to.
Progressing there. So after the elementary school, I had a scholarship, and I went to a junior high school, which was called E.J. Nancy Junior High School.
Yes.
In the 6th, 7th, and the 8th grade. In the 8th grade, I got another double promotion, call it back on double promotion.
Double promotion.
So I never sat in the 6th grade, in the 9th grade class.
You were a brilliant student.
So from 8th, I went to the 10th grade.
Yes.
And then from the 10th grade, I ended up industrial high school called Booker T. Washington Institute.
Wow.
One of the more respected high school in Liberia.
Wow.
All of our technical people went to that school.
Wow.
So I went to Booker T. Washington Institute.
Yeah.
And I graduated from Booker T. Washington School, came back and worked in the company as a factory supervisor.
Factory supervisor?
Yes, I was the youngest employee.
While you were still in high school?
No, I graduated from high
You're
school.
in junior college now?
No, I'm not in junior college yet. I graduated from the high school.
Yes.
And the company wanted me to come back and work there. I graduated as an auto mechanic.
Oh.
So when I came back, they wanted me to work.
So you went to work experience?
Yes.
Okay.
So I worked for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the general manager of the company said, no, we don't want to waste your time. We want you to go back to college. Mm-hmm. So they sent me to a newly opened junior college in an area called Maryland County in Cape Province, where I went to a junior college called William V.S. Tubman College of Science and Technology.
Okay.
For 3 years.
For 3 years.
And I graduated with honor.
With honors?
Yeah, as a mechanical engineering technology. And right after graduation, I got another scholarship from the electrical company in Liberia called Liberian Electricity Corporation, sorry. They gave me a scholarship to go study electrical engineering in French.
In French?
In the Ivory Coast.
In Ivory Coast.
So,
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire. So I went there. It was difficult because when I learned the French to study engineering, very tough.
Do you speak any French?
My French is a little bit questionable now, but I can speak like street French.
For the viewers, tell us something in French. Give us a line in French.
Oh, bonjour, comment ça va? Vous allez bien?
What's that? What you just said?
I said, hello, how are you? How are you going?
And while we're on the language, you're from Liberia.
I'm from Liberia.
Give us something in Liberian language.
Well, now, Liberian language, there's so many languages. We have about probably 16 now, before we're 12.
60?
Yeah, 16.
16 different dialects.
Different dialects.
Yeah.
So my mother from the tribe called the Pele, K-P-E-L-L-E-H, the Pele tribe.
The Pele tribe.
And my father is from the mixed.
Mixed.
We call it mixed back home is one parent is from the native Liberian and one from the American Liberian, which is called the Congo people.
So you have the native Liberian and you have the American Liberian.
Yeah, the indigenous Liberian,
the
indigenous native people, and they also come from the descendant of the slave who went back to Liberia and settled there.
Liberia, yes.
They are called the Congo people.
Yes, the Congo
people. So my father, how we got a name Cooper, last name Cooper. So my father spoke Paisa, which is his another language. But I spoke Peleg. I grew up with my mother and my mother's side, so I spoke Peleg.
Give us a little bit of Peleg.
Oh, but Kubani, I call him. He said, hello, how you doing? Are you feeling well?
Oh.
So that's the Peleg I speak, but I don't.
The
longer I stay in America, the difficult it is for me to speak it.
Okay, because let's go back, Halika, because what I'm hearing is that you're a very rounded student academically. But my question is, was there a drive because of you wanted more or because of you knew that you never had enough growing up?
Yes.
Because listening to you, and you tackle the hard subjects, the sciences, talk to us. Was there a drive behind that?
Well, it was I don't know how to put it, but it was self-driven, ambition, because my father wanted me to become a lawyer. My father's ambition was to become a lawyer.
Because he was a judge.
But he never became a lawyer, so he became a judge. And lawyer used to come to the court, and lawyer were educated. They all had a bachelor degree and a law school, a law degree.
Yeah.
So they would come and argue in my father's court, and my father would get very frustrated because they would quote all these laws from the Liberian Code of Law. So he wanted me, because he knew my background, and he wanted me to go to law school.
So your dad wanted you to be a lawyer?
Yes. And I changed my mind, and my father and I were traveling from one of his outside court, trips, and we had in a Liberian taxi cab, and the cab broke down the side of the road. And there's a gentleman who came by and just did something very simple. Opened the hood of the cab. I saw him sucking something from the cab, from the carburetor, and he spit the gasoline to the carburetor.
Yes.
The car started.
And
I thought that guy had some power. I said, whatsoever he had,
so you were
some of that.
So you were drawn to mechanics.
Become a mechanic
from that.
first. Yes.
Because of what happened.
Yes. From being a mechanic, and I want to say, no, I can become a mechanical engineer. I can become that, anything I want. That's how I was self-driven to go in that direction. My father said, hey, you want to be an engineer? You want to be a mechanical engineer? Go for it. And that's how I started.
I don't know how much you want to say, but during all of this, where did the, for better word, the outburst in Liberia took place? What was that like?
You mean the Civil War?
The Civil War, yes.
The Civil War happened while we were already here in America.
While you were here in America?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So pause right there. So let's go back to junior college.
Yeah.
So you got a scholarship because you did 3 years, right? 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Okay, what next after that?
So I will skip some of
Because at what age you were at this point?
Well, the age is not equal to the time of school after.
Oh.
Because some of us started school very late.
Very late?
Liberia, yes.
Wait, what do you call late?
Late mean I was
7 years?
No, I was like almost 20 years old graduating from high school because we started school late. I was
really?
in elementary school. I was probably 14 years old in elementary school.
So at 14 years old, you were in elementary school?
Yes.
Why is this?
Because, people start school very late because of different reasons.
Different reasons?
Yeah.
And that was okay with the education?
Oh, yeah. No, you can start school anytime,
Oh.
And only time you have a little bit of a lag is if a young woman have a child, you surely to take you from the day school and put in the night school. But some of the things have changed over the year. Because it's been several years ago. I'm talking about this is the early 70s, 1970s.
The 70s.
The 1 year. Things have changed. But during that time, you can start school anytime. In fact, in elementary school, one of my very good friends, who was almost 25 years old with kids, we graduated together, went to high school together. So he's,
Pause right there. So in elementary school,
yeah.
One of your friends were 25 years old.
Yeah, kids.
That have kids.
Had kids, but we both graduated from
and is in elementary school.
We went to junior high school. We went to high school. He graduated, and he went on to take care of his family. Even his kids down there, like.
I think that's beautiful though, to know that you still have a chance. It doesn't matter how late you start the school, because like certainly in most countries, like. If you have kids, you can't go to school.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like if you get pregnant, I think it's kind of more lenient now, but I remember back then, if you get pregnant, you just stop going to school.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the school that made them stop, but it was more of a shameful thing.
Yeah.
Where the girls would just stop going to school. Yeah. But it's good to know that. So this is fascinating, guys. So at 25, his friends had kids in elementary school.
Yep. Yeah, 2 kids in elementary school.
So it's not like a system where, like, in America, the kids have to go to school.
Yeah.
And this government will come down and Why the kid is not in school? Totally different in Liberia.
You know, because most of the parents couldn't afford to send their kids to school. We were fortunate to be in a corporation where school was free for them, but most places school were not free at that time. So if a parent have never been to school, they don't know the value of education. How would they encourage to go to school? So most of the young men like him, you know, he had to really motivate himself to go to school.
Wow.
And
That's interesting.
yes, and he did it. He became a successful guy. So,
Wow.
yeah.
You guys wore uniform to school?
Yes, we wore uniform in elementary school. We were green pants and white shirt.
Green pants and white shirt.
And then in high school, were blue jeans and white shirt.
Blue jeans and white, yeah?
In college, junior college, was no uniform.
No uniform.
Uniform.
Okay, so you finished junior college.
Yes,
You got a scholarship.
yes.
What's next?
A scholarship took me to the Ivory Coast, like Cote d'Ivoire in Bishopville.
Ivory Course, yeah.
And that school was called Inter-African Electrical Engineering College.
Yeah.
So they brought in African students from all over Africa, from Zaire. Those days was Zaire.
Zaire.
It is called the People Republic of Congo.
Yes.
People from Djibouti, people from Senegal, people from Mali. We were Liberian students. We were only 6 on that scholarship.
Wow.
We were the only English-speaking students there, but we had to learn French. And then the French kids had to learn English so that we all can do mix, you know, the math in French or English, some of the science courses in English. It was mixed English and French. They want us to become bilingual.
Bilingual engineer. Okay.
Yeah. So I was in that school for only 2.5 years.
Yes.
And
So you were in the Ivory Coast for 2.5 years?
yes. And there was a very high standard in that school.
Yes.
So out of the 6 kids, 4 of the students got sent back home because they were not doing well. So when the 2 left in the school,
And you were one of them.
one of them, a gentleman and I, may God bless his soul, my friend, he died. So I became only student in the school.
Wow.
So at a certain point when I came back for vacation, I talked to the general manager of the corporation
Yeah.
that I wanted to have a chance, like other people in Liberia, to come and study in the United States. And they told me, you got to stand in the line, in the back of the line.
Stop right there. What year was this?
This was 1983.
1983.
Yeah,
Wow.
1983.
40 years ago.
So, if you want me to continue, I will.
Yes, go ahead.
So, I decided not to go back on my own terms, so I didn't finish the degree. So, the company offered me the job in the electrical company in Liberia, and I became a low study technician, you know, just helping to study the power consumption in different sections of Monrovia to do power rationing. So I did that for a little while. And then I decided to come back in the Ivory Coast on my own to visit.
Okay.
And a miracle happened to me.
Miracle.
Yes, very, very, very interesting miracle.
Here to share?
I will share it.
Yes.
So when I came back to the Ivory Coast, I went to a gentleman, I want to call his name because I think he should get the credit. Name was Al Brown, an American.
Al
American.
Brown, yeah.
Went to his house for a party,
Yes.
and I met a gentleman there
Yes.
whose name was Henry Goddess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call their names.
Yeah.
And then at that party, Henry Goddess and I became friends. I didn't know the guy from nowhere. He took some like name and he said something about you very unique. So I met his wife, and let me just fast forward the story. So one day I was in downtown Abidjan, the capital city of Ivory Coast, and my friend told me, hey, remember that guy we met at the party? He said he worked at the American Embassy. I said, oh, yes. So let's go check him out, see what he does. We got to the embassy, and there was a big crowd waiting for him. I didn't know when we asked him to see Henry. See Henry who? See Henry Goddess. So everybody else waited for him. There was a room full of people. And while we're waiting, Henry was passing through this dark glass. We couldn't see in the back, but he could see us. And he came back and told the security to let me in. They never let my friend in. So he let me in, and I came down there, and he took me to the office in Africa. I was sweating, Africa. So I got to the office, sat down there, big office, and I started looking. I said, what do you do here?
Yeah.
He said, I'm the Consul General of the United States of America.
He's the consulate general.
Yes.
For the United States of America.
Yeah.
That is America.
Big time America. Like I said,
That is America.
We start talking about it.
That is America.
Every time I think about it, I can see my face, my whole brain just like start thinking like, that is just God making things happen.
But pause it right there. I'm gonna allow you to continue. Because we get into America now. Because the program is called My Journey to America.
Yes, where it started from fucking, yes.
Was it, certainly for us living in Jamaica, we always wanted to come to America. Was that a thing among you guys as kids growing up in Liberia? Or like one day we wanted to go to America? Because we would have people that travel back and forth and we see the nice shoes, the nice clothes and stuff like that. Was that a thing in Liberia?
It was more in Liberia than in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah. So it was more in Liberia than in Jamaica.
Because Liberia is founded by free men of slavery from the United States of America.
Yes.
So every educated people in Liberia are coming from the United States.
From United States.
All of these guys, we used to go to the airport when Pan Am were flying. Just to see people walk out of that plane coming from America, how to dress, how to smell, how to look.
Fascinating.
Everybody meet, everybody said, man, wow, go to America. So that's how we all like, I had a scholarship to go study in the Dutch country, Dutchland. I don't know what they call it, Dutchland. I had a scholarship to study robot technology. My father said, no, you shouldn't take a scholarship to go study a language that's not going to do you any better. You already gone to Ivory Coast to study French. So I didn't go to Amsterdam with us.
Yeah.
University over there. He said, wait, the time's going to come, go to America. So America was the
place.
Was the target for all of us.
The target.
Because even all the corporations in Liberia, all the top managers and top directors, they were all American graduates for all the universities here.
Wow.
Even our past president, the first lady president of Africa, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she's a graduate of university in Massachusetts, Boston.
So those things set the precedence for you guys want to come to America. Okay, so we can move down to the scholarship now. So we're in the consulate office now.
I'm sitting there.
We're in the consulate office.
A nice air conditioner.
Nice air
comfortable. I sit back. Because this guy just like me.
Yes.
Both of them. He and his wife liked me at the same time.
Yes.
I was kind of, I like, you can't find that, so you can't find it easy for a couple to just see something about you would like. Because my French was broken. They spoke French.
Yeah.
And my French didn't sound right to them. They said, where are you from? Then I started telling them my story from Liberia. I came here to study electrical engineering.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell them anything about want to come to America, anything. I didn't know them that well.
Yeah.
But anyway, after the conversation, he asked me one question. He said, same question, always asked me, what is ambition? What do you want to do? Where you want to go? You have any plan to go to America? And my eye lit up. I said, I always wanted to go to America. He said, yes. So do you know anybody in America? I said, I have one friend who lives in Chicago, in the United States. One friend. He said,
40 years ago.
Yeah, he said, I got one friend. He said, yes. He said, I'm not sure I should share the whole detail, but I will share it. It's been 40 years ago. And then they can trace it back to him. There was nothing illegal.
Yes.
He asked me, same thing he told me that night. There's something interesting about you. He said,
yes.
I believe you can do better in America. He said, I believe you can do well.
He gave you an opportunity.
He said, I believe you can do it. Do you have your passport? I said, yeah, I have a passport. He said, I'm going to give you a multiple visa. But before you go to the United States, make sure that you're going to somewhere in the United States. Don't just fly to New York or Chicago.
Yes. Yeah.
But go for visit and see first before you decide. Go see and come back.
Yes.
You didn't give me the visa to come and stay here. No.
Yeah.
You know it was illegal to do that. So I give you a visiting visa.
Yes.
So 2 years multiple, I can go in within 2 years to come to America and return.
Yes.
We stamped my passport, shook a hand, he said, you're going to do better. I want to see you do well. I want to make sure I'll be proud of you one day.
Take me through that moment when you opened the passport and saw the actual visa. Take me through that surreal moment.
In fact, he showed it to me. When he stamped it, he showed it to me. He said, this is the visa. We didn't know. I've never seen a visa
I've never seen a visa.
He said, it's the visa here. This is there. This is that. I'll give you this is the date. Between this date, you can go to the United States, visit your friends, see America, and come back because you deserve it. And then I know my background already. I was one of the top student at university. You know, he said, you will like America, but go visit first before you make up your mind.
Wow.
So then I came outside. When I opened that door and the hot African air blew me, I was walking like on air.
On air.
My friend asked me, why are you so happy?
With your multiple visa to go to America.
Yeah, I didn't tell him because I didn't know how you're going to take it, because he felt bad.
Yeah.
That he didn't let him in. He didn't let me alone in. So I didn't want to tell him, make him feel bad. I said, oh, just a nice guy. I had a good conversation. But I got something I'm going to tell you. So I didn't tell him yet. I went back to the university. Now, here where I get interested.
Yeah.
And I told you before, my story is very interesting.
We're here to hear it.
Yeah.
That's why we do these interviews.
So I got back to the university.
Yeah.
There was one administrator in the university.
This is the university in Ivory
In the Ivory Coast.
Ivory
Yes,
Coast, yeah.
yes. There's a lady who used to like me. I used to like her.
Yeah.
And she was an administrator. She couldn't date any of the students.
Yeah.
But she studied in the UK. But she spoke English very well, better than I do. So
Yeah.
I came back to tell her this good news that I just got a visa to come to America. And she had been in New York a couple of times to shop and go back home. And I showed her my visa. And she just stared at me and said, let me hold your passport. I said, why? She said, give me your passport. She took my passport. He said, go, I'll talk to you later. I said, why? I was going to go show my passport to my friends.
Yeah.
And I was kind of
She
shocked.
took your passport.
She took my passport away from me. And I walked outside. I was very confused.
My belly's hurting.
Oh, man, Kevin. So a whole week, I didn't hear from her. We didn't have telephone.
Did you sleep?
I couldn't sleep. I thought it was something against me, but something going to turn out to be so well for me.
Really?
That lady invited me, came back, picked me up, and took me into her house. We spent a weekend together. We went to see, under her about one of the biggest reggae musicians in the Ivory Coast called Alfred Blondie.
Alpha Blondie? You hear that? Jamaica, one of the biggest reggae musicians as a
Global. Alfred Blondie, he was very
Alpha
global.
Blondie.
Yeah, he was very hot those days.
That's like 40 years ago.
Yeah, Alfred
Okay.
Blondie
Okay.
was a pen pal to this girl.
Hold on, time before we go there, since you're on reggae, were you listening to Bob Marley at that time?
Oh yeah, I was
Bob-
big. One of the biggest reggae fans I can think of among my friends.
Bob Marley, Peter Touch.
Yeah, Peter Touch.
Okay.
What the guy named? No Woman No Cry. I forgot his name.
That's Bob Marley.
No. The other guy. I forget that. The other music, he remade it. You know.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but anyway, she took me to go see Alpha Blondie. So all that time in my mind, once she took my passport, fast forward, the next morning I had to leave. She had asked me all the questions and made a note of it, of my friend in Chicago, all of that stuff. She came back with my passport and she gave it to me. My passport had a round trip ticket from Abidjan. In fact, let me start the way. My passport had a round trip ticket from Abidjan to Monrovia, Monrovia to Abidjan, Abidjan to New York, New York to Chicago, Chicago to New York, New York back to Abidjan. And that ticket cost all of the money she had saved to buy her car. She wanted to buy the Mercedes-Benz.
Wow.
And that ticket cost so many 100,000 CFA. That's a foreign money at those days.
Hold on, because I have to let the viewers in. So the currency in Liberia is called?
No, not Liberia. At that time, we used US dollars.
US dollars. So
Yeah.
what's the currency in that then? CFA?
In Ivory Coast?
For Ivory Coast.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
CFA. Yeah.
CFA, okay.
CFA, that's CFA.
Yeah, CFA, okay.
Yeah. So she used all her money she had saved to buy the vehicle for herself. And she told me, and she didn't explain that to me yet. When she gave me this ticket, I had never seen, I know local ticket flying from African countries, Senegal, but this is a ticket to the United States on the Air Freak. Air Freak that does not exist anymore.
Okay, all right. We know you're going to the airport. How did your parents and siblings feel when they heard you have visa?
They don't know yet.
They don't know yet.
No communication. They had no telephone, no way.
Yeah, because you were in Ivory
I was
Coast.
in Ivory Coast.
Okay, got you.
So I got this and I thank her. I said, oh, thank you so much. What do I do? What do I do? She said, no. I see something in you. I think you got to do the same thing, almost like a repetition of what the American counselor told me. Say,
yes.
I see potential in you. In the whole school here, everybody talk about
Wow.
you. Even the administrator talk about you.
You are
the way
really,
you carry yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the way you dress, the way you talk to people. Say,
yes.
something good gonna happen to you. So I felt I didn't deserve it. So you deserve it.
Wow.
So fast forward, left the Ivory Coast. A few days later, flew back to Monrovia, came and got my mother and called. In fact, when I got back to Ivory Coast, there was a gentleman from, I wanted to come see my parents.
Yes.
And the gentleman from Ghana, I met him just as a friend. He said, hey, I said, look, I got a visa. And this gentleman was also deported from the United States. That's a long story.
Yeah.
But he told me, he said, you got a visa? I said, yeah, I got a visa going to the United States. I just want to go and say goodbye to my parents before I leave. He gave me a car. He had a BMW, very nice car. Took his car, came and told my brother to go tell my parents to come meet me because I only had like 5 days to come back to Abidjan. So I met my parents. My parents came.
Yes.
And I told them about it.
Yes.
And my mother and I cried, and that was the last time I saw my mother. I get emotional when I talk about that. But my mother
We will soon come to that.
Yes, my mother
But
and I.
you were the first person of the siblings that got the opportunity to come to America.
Yes.
Okay. Well, continue.
Yeah. So we said goodbye, give a hug, and he told me, he told me to promise me. He said, promise me. This America, we don't know about it. He said, promise me. She said a prayer. It's a special prayer in the African language. And to tell you to look over your head, you know, something he said. He had to explain that in English.
Yeah.
He said, but this America, I don't know much about it, but promise me you're going to come back within 3 years. I promised my mother. I said, Mom, I'm coming back 1988. I'll be there for 3 years. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't even know yet. I just said, I'm going to be there for 3 years.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I left, came back to Monrovia, said goodbye to all of my friends.
Yes.
And then flew back to the Abidjan.
Flew to Abidjan.
And then boarded my flight. A little thing happened in between.
Yeah.
But boarded my flight to New York.
To New York.
And then when I got in New York, the unfortunate thing happened to me. Which is another story. But all the good things happened in my life. Got to New York, JFK. In
1983.
1985.
1985.
July 7, I think, if I know. Or July 7.
July 7, 1985.
Yeah, I got to verify. I think it's July 7 or July. Yeah, I think it was July 7.
Yeah.
So I got to New York. I got to a JFK. Got my luggages. You know, I was dressed in a suit. You know, like
Yes.
like I was a businessman.
Yeah, you're in suit.
Yeah, I got there, and the gentleman told me, a security guy told me, said, where you going? I said, I'm trying to go to Chicago, but it's from a different airport. And she looked at my ticket. She said, oh, LaGuardia, it's not far. It's just down the road. He said, wait, there's a shuttle bus that take people here. There was a black guy standing there.
From JFK to LaGuardia, shuttle bus.
Yeah, it's a shuttle bus.
Yeah.
It's a shuttle bus was there. And there was a black guy standing there watching us as we talked to the white gentleman. And as soon as the guy turned his back to go, he ran up to me and said, hey, it's just from Africa. I said, oh, I'm so happy to see a brother from Africa. I said, you going to Chicago? I said, yeah. Oh, I'm from Mississippi. I will take you. He had a black car. At that time, New York had a black cab, which were criminals. They would pick people at the airport and rob them. I never knew. I mean, nobody. I didn't know. One of my friends in Chicago that knew. I've called him for the payphone. I've already arrived. I'm going to go to the other airport and fly. The time my flight will arrive, so pick me up from O'Hare Airport. So the guy put me in the cab, put my luggage in the trunk, my 2 bags in the trunk, and I sat in the back. And we driving down this big highway, and he asked me, he said, did you bring some money with you? I said, no, why? He said, give us the money you have right there in your socks. And that's exactly what I had. I had about close to $400 US in my right socks. Wow. My socks. He said, give me all that money. I said, for what? He said, if you don't give me that money, we're going to take you somewhere, rob you, and take all your stuff from you. And I got very frightened because we heard a lot of stuff in the movie we're watching in America. But anyway, wrong matter short, I gave him the money. He said, on your other foot, And he knew what all the money was. So I divided my money around my bottom. So I had a little pouch here. I had some money in my pouch. I gave him French fry, but I pinched a little bit of money and just put it inside my underwear. I didn't give it all, but I just took like a big punch. I had all the cash.
Yeah.
So I put some right into my underwear. I gave all the money. He said, okay, when I stop on the side of the road, when I pop the trunk, you better go fast and take out your soda while I'm go with your luggage. So he pulled on the side of the road, and I jumped out. As soon as I grabbed my tool bag, he pulled out. So I'm standing down the highway, all the cars going fast. I've never been to America, I see where the cars going. So somebody saw me, a yellow cab saw me. And the guy went and turned around, because it was strange to see someone standing on the highway. I don't know where I was. So somewhere in Queen, Jamaica, I think, or in Queen, Jamaica, I want to say Queen.
Jamaica, Queens.
Jamaica, Queen. So the cab driver came and stopped. African guy, he said, "So what are you doing the road here?" I think he came from some other African country, not Liberia, but he said, and I explained the story to him. He said, "Get in the car, I'll take you to the airport." He brought me to the airport. He waited for me to tell the police. When the police came, he said, "Make a police report to the police." And I told him, I didn't have no money. I said, "Don't pay me nothing." He said, "This happens here very often now with the black cab, I'm sorry they're coming from home in Africa, coming here and being with a bad, experience." So I told the police, and the police wrote all the things, described the cab, to describe the driver. And I asked the police, "So what's going to happen?" And the police said, he looked at my face and said, "This is over 100 cases of the same thing happening. So we're not even sure we're going to ever find this guy. So you're lucky that you didn't get hurt or you didn't take your luggages. So just continue on your trip. And where you going?" I gave them my address, where I'm going, everything. They let me go. But the only person that got more angry than I am was my friend who was here in Chicago waiting for me.
So hold it right there. So, young man, growing up in Liberia, saw all the American influence in the top positions back home. Studied, because you did your dues, and you got that opportunity. Like you got a ticket, a lottery ticket.
That sound like that.
You came to America with big dreams, big goals, and you were robbed.
I was
The
robbed.
moment you stepped off that
I
aeroplane,
was robbed in New York.
you were robbed in New York, JFK, 1985.
1985. My friend
took
is
all
my
your
witness.
money
Yeah, my friend is my
And
witness.
left you on the highway.
Yeah. And
From
that-
a climax to an anticlimax.
Yeah, and the bad taste. I like, should I even be here in America? First, I asked myself, and I had a round trip. So I got so discouraged. But my friend, when I got to the LaGuardia, I called on the phone, and I talked to him. He was extremely upset.
Yeah.
And I told him, "Look, man," I said, "Bad thing happened. I'm glad that the police told me. You should be happy that he didn't get hurt." So I got on my flight. Got here in Chicago, my friend, who's now lives in Ohio.
Is your friend still alive today?
Yeah, he's in Ohio. We just spoke yesterday. We speak every day. He's my boyhood friend. We grew up together.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. We've been in one that's in the 1960s, went to high school together, stayed in the same room, went to boarding school, actually. So we stayed in the same room. So we've been together most of our lives.
So let's fast forward to now you're in Chicago.
Yeah.
You met your friend at the airport.
Yeah, pick
He
me
come
up.
and pick you up.
Yeah.
What's next?
Picked me up, brought me to the house, and we went to pick up his wife from work. We came home, had some food, we ate and laughed, and he was still bitter.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? So anyway, I said, "Look, maybe there's a good thing ahead. Let's just move forward."
Yes.
So now I'm in America on a visiting visa.
Yes.
And I didn't have any plan to stay. Actually, at that point, that's the time you couldn't get
A phone call.
No, you could still make phone call, but people had to come to the telecommunication Monrovia,
Yeah.
so they can tell them that you arrived.
TR, okay.
But we had a letter system called the American Airmail.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got, I bought some at the airport.
Yeah.
So I wrote them.
You had
back.
money leave. You had a little money leave.
Yeah.
You put some in here.
Jeez, I have. So I sent a letter back to my brother and everybody. Let them know I made it back. I made it here in America. Everybody excited to apply to my address here.
Yeah.
So now I'm here in America with my friend James.
Yeah.
So James was very excited, and in one bedroom apartment. When I got there the first day, they said, "Here, your wife said they were so happy to see me that they let me sleep in the bedroom. They slept on the floor in the living room.
So
I never forget that.
He gave you the bed.
I said, look, please.
And he slept on the floor.
They said, no, they slept on the floor. And
they slept on the floor. Yeah.
I was like,
that's a good friend.
That's a good friend. I would say for up till we die.
I know. Yeah, you spoke to him up to yesterday.
Yesterday, I speak to his wife almost every other day. We have conversation.
What is his name?
James B. Tiller.
Shout out to James B. Tiller. You're a great friend.
Really good friend. My brother. Even his children call me uncle, and my son.
And you were there from day one.
We've been there together for a long time, you know.
Okay.
So we got here, and I pretty much settled in the second week. I met a young lady through one of my friends who were looking for someone to tutor her son French. That was my first job in America. I couldn't work. So I was visiting visa.
So your first job, you were tutoring someone in French?
A middle school
to
kid.
learn French?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And that job led me to do other jobs like stuffing envelopes at home. She found me a job. She worked for, she introduced me to a lady who worked for an envelope company.
Yes.
And that lady said, well, we got some contract.
Yeah.
You can order a stuffed envelope to get it. Now it's automatically done with the machine. But before, people had to literally take the letters and put in the envelopes. So I got like thousands, boxes of letters. I used to put in the envelope. And what I did, I got a little change in my pocket. And go hang out, in the club and do all that stuff. I was a single man.
Yeah.
But I'm fast forwarding this now to where things started to change again for the better of my life. Yes. So I went to a social event.
But stop. Did your mom knew that you were reached safe?
No, at that time they knew I made it, but I had no way to communicate with them. Because there were the letter can only go to Monrovia. My brother was a nurse, he was a high school graduate. So he didn't want to communicate with. But I don't know if he told my mom at that time, but I knew to know that I was already here in America. So there's another twist of my life in America. I go to a social event. So I go to a social event in the south side of Chicago.
South side of Chicago.
South side of Chicago. It's a big party. I'm sitting there, very quiet. And to take the truth, you couldn't tell when I just came to America or already been here. I dressed just like about a year. At the time, I brought some good clothes, good jeans, good shirts. So I was dressed like anybody here. And this lady walked up to me. Hello, how are you? Why are you so quiet by yourself? I said, no, I'm just visiting here. So from where? And we started a conversation. She said, same thing. The guy told me, Henry Gardis told me. He said, something about you very unique.
It's always something about you.
Very unique.
From the counselor to the lady.
Very unique. I got to talk to you before the end of the night.
You have some charm that we don't know
about. So my friend who took me to the party and whispered to me and said, why did she come talk to you? I said, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, fast forward that night, and before the end of the night, she came up to me and said, here's my phone number. Call me. Her name was...
You have cell phone?
Yes.
You had cell phone?
No, they had cell phone. We had on a home phone. She gave me a phone number, a home phone. There was no cell phone, 1985.
Okay, no cell phone.
People had cell phone, but the president or people in high offices. So she gave me her phone number. She said, call me anytime. I work for the Marriott. And here's my phone number. Her name was Bessie Harshaw. May God bless her soul. She passed away. Yes. Bessie gave me a number. I came home. My friend was very happy for me. The guy said, why are you so happy? Because he knew that this going to lead me to something. Because none of them had the opportunity. When they came, people did just come to them and say, you have my phone number. Women who already settled their home, children. She had 9 kids. Beautiful children.
9 kids?
9 children, girls and boys.
She African?
No, she was American. She was married like 3 times. So very nice woman. She didn't look her age at all when I met her. But anyway, fast forward. The reason she gave me a number is she wanted me to date her oldest daughter. And she said, I just want you to talk. I just like you. Something about your life. So later on, she told me all of this, So anyway, we had a conversation. But to cut this straight to the chase, this whole situation led me to to getting my residency in this country.
Your residency.
It
And that's
happened,
important.
It happens so easily.
Yes.
So easily. If I go in detail, you say I'm lying.
Yes.
You'll not believe me.
Yes.
Because you know how it is. Those who come from third world
Trust me,
countries.
I know.
It's very difficult. I had it so simple. So simple.
Yes.
Kevin, you'll not believe it.
Yes.
I was like, there are people been here 10 years, 5 years, long period. I was here for only 6 months and got my
residence.
But I got my A letter, the A letter.
Yes.
And I was able to go. And what she told me, said, you're gonna be able to work, you're gonna be able to do this. And then, so I got my residency in from that before the end of the year. I came 85, before the end of 85, I got my residency. So then I able to go find a job.
Felt happy, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And I wrote to all my friends. But something else I'm gonna tell you that was very unique and on just up to now, something I think about it, and the chill came about it.
Yeah.
I met this lady. Again, most of them have been ladies in my life.
There's something about you.
Ladies, yeah, you know. But I won't complain.
Yeah.
So I met this lady, and she took me to the church called Second Baptist Church in Evanston.
Second Baptist Church in Evanston.
So we go to the church, introduced me to everybody in the church, and everybody like just opened up to me, you know. And this lady somehow became like my godmother, you know. And she took me to the church, and then every time I meet a girl in the church, I would come to her. I say, Janet, her name was Janet Tate, and God bless her soul also.
Yes.
She passed away, Reverend Tate. Reverend Tate said, oh, Alfred, she's not good for you. And some of the most beautiful women I met in that church said, no, she's not good for you. Until one day, she said she wanted to go to a place to have in the South Side. It was a buffet called Queen of the Sea. See, Alfred, today I wanted to take my Queen of the Sea. Anyway, fast forward, I had a job. Okay,
What was your first job?
My first job in America was working for a law firm called Mayer Brown and Platt. So again, that's one of the
always had
stuff.
Great jobs.
But this is how I'm telling you. This is how I got a job. I go to Second Baptist Church.
Yes.
I met a young woman in the choir.
Yes.
Very, very up Caroline complexion, beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And she kept looking at me for the choir. I kept looking back to her again.
She's supposed to be singing on the choir,
singing, but she kept looking at me. I can't look at her. So when she came back, I said, "Do you work? How are you doing that?" I said, "I just came there to get my paper. I still looking for a job." She said, she gave me the name of the guy who worked at a law firm. He said, "Call this guy." He's all go there. Just go there and say, "Janet sent me." I'll be with Janet also. So I go there, I met this guy. He looked at me a long time and said, "I'll hire you."
Just like that.
Yeah, he said, "I'll hire you."
Did he say there's something about you?
He didn't say me that, but he just said, "I'll hire you. You look like a very honest guy. You talk like a military guy. You're an honest guy."
Yeah.
So he hired me. At that time, all of the people I met in Chicago from Liberia, everybody were making low income, $3.75. The lowest income people made at those days were $3.75.
$3.75
an hour.
Per hour.
Per hour.
In the 80s.
In the late 80s.
Yeah.
My first job in America, guess what? I'm making $13.50.
$13.50.
I was a clerk and middle person in the law firm. Wow. Law firm stayed in downtown Chicago on LaSalle Street, full of 350 lawyers. And I got there, and again, I met just great lawyers, great people. And while I was there, I tried to get myself back to school. But school was very expensive. Like, how can I afford to go to school? That's another twist of the story. While I was debating on getting back to school, all of a sudden, my mother passed away. One morning I got up, I got a phone call from my ex-girlfriend back in Liberia. Said, we just going to tell you that your mother just died. I had to tell you, your mother just died. She had malaria. She died from malaria.
Malaria. Mosquitoes.
Yeah, malaria. My mother's strong with malaria. Anyway, my mother died in 1988, and I decided to go back home. That law firm gave me money to buy. I didn't have money to buy airline ticket, to get money, buy a gift for family. Went back home to bury my mom. So now, again, here's another stage of my life. At that funeral, after the funeral, I came back to Monrovia. I met a gentleman who was the same gentleman who was the general manager for the Liberian Electricity Corporation. I met at a party. So like guys in the 50s, they were all the elite people in that party.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who was the number one DJ in the country called Wolfman Stubberfield was my friend.
You remember the names?
Oh, no, this is someone who did something for my life, so I always remember that.
Yeah.
So Wilma said, hey, we're going to a party. You're not supposed to be like a young, all from people 40 years or 50 years of age. But you want to go? I said, let's go. He picked me up, took me to that party. And I met the old general manager for the corporation. And he said, and I introduced myself to him. He said, do you sound familiar? Were you in Africa? I said, yes. He said, all class people. I'm like, little guy here. He said, you in the Ivory Coast? On the scholarship? I said, yeah, on the LSE scholarship in the Ivory Coast. Why did you leave? And I did a short story. I said, no, I had a visa to go to America. I said, no, Burnett, Burnett said, I got a scholarship to go to America, so I took advantage of it. I'm not scholarship, I got a visa to go to America. I said, oh, are you in school? I said, no, I can't afford to go to school. He said, come in my office next week. We're going to reinstate you on the Liberian Electricity Corporation scholarship, and we'll put you back to school to study mechanical engineering.
In America.
Everything I remember about you is that you the sing Alfred Cooper. I think we're going to sponsor you there. Wow. Very, very happy.
See,
I got a scholarship.
So, hold on. You got that scholarship because your mom passed away.
Because I didn't want to bury my mother.
Is that very...
I'm telling you, that's
a very amazing story.
I said my life is just hard.
Wow.
Because if your mom, up to today.
Because if your mom never passed away,
I would not have the opportunity to go home.
And when you went home, you got full scholarship from Liberia.
Full scholarship from the Liberia.
To do mechanical engineering.
To study at Illinois Institute of Technology in the South, one of the most expensive institutions in the state.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. So I got a scholarship, but on the end of the story, there was a twist.
Yes.
He offered me the scholarship verbally. He said he is going to personally make sure when I come to my office, talk to me. It was on a Saturday, come Monday. Monday morning, on my way to see Sam Burnett, on the radio while the cab driver driving and playing the radio said, Mr. Sam Burnett had been fired as the managing director of Liberian Electricity Corporation.
Wow.
I'm sitting there, the cab driver, I told the cab, turn the radio up loud.
Oh my God.
You see, the president of the country, Mr. Samuel K. Dole, went to his office. He was not in the office. And he fired him right there because he was not in the office that morning. I'm sitting there, don't know what to do. But I still went there. I'll make it very short. It's a long part of the story here.
Yeah.
But I got there, and the assistant got moved up to the acting general manager. And the guy, very nice guy, I just met him sometime. I introduced my wife to him. I met him in Atlanta. Chris, I will not call people last name now. I'll just go on with that first name. Chris.
Yeah.
So I walk in there. I said, Chris is the new. I said, Chris, yeah. I said, I don't know this guy. I said, well, why don't I go talk to him? That Sam Burnett. So he to come here this morning. Because the whole place were all confused. Everybody moving around. So I got there. I talked to the secretary. Secretary said, you Alfred Cooper? I said, yeah. I got a message from Sam Burnett that to pass it to Chris, that he had reinstated you on the scholarship.
So he did.
While the guy got fired, he had the time to call his office, or call the assistant, let him know that I will come in the office. And when I came in, Chris said, no, let him come in. Chris will close the door and say, I know, I will take care of it. Don't worry about it.
So time out, because we have to put this in context.
Yeah.
So the guy that was going to offer you the scholarship got fired. He was the managing director.
Yeah.
Even though he got fired, he made a phone call to the office because he knew you were coming.
Yes. He promised me I'm going to see him the next morning to sign the paper to reinstate him the scholarship.
To God be the glory.
Jesus Christ.
Congratulations.
Yes. So the guy told me to right now we can't prosecute. When that morning you were supposed to process my paper, they were going to reimburse me for my trip to Liberia. A whole lot of great stuff. But Chris told me, you got a round trip ticket? I said, I got my return ticket to the States. So go back in the States. We're going to reinstate the scholarship. I already got a message. Don't worry about it. we got all your record here in the company because you're already on the scholarship before.
Yes.
You're reinstating you on the scholarship in America.
Yeah.
Not in the Ivory Coast anymore. So now,
The question, did you ever make the consulate when you came back?
to America?
To I know it was in Ivory Coast, but
Yeah.
did you get to meet the
No, he got
consulate?
reassigned
He
East
got
Africa.
reassigned.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
I never get a meeting.
Okay.
I went back to the Ivory Coast to think I'll keep going when I got there. That quickly, he was reassigned
Yeah.
to someone. They couldn't tell me exactly where he was.
Yeah.
To me reassigned to East Africa.
I wonder if he's still alive.
I've been looking for him on Facebook. I went everywhere, put his name in it, and all.
What's
kinds
his
of names
name?
come up. Henry Gaddis, Giddis.
Henry Gaddis?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to find his name.
We're
I
going
can
to
look for him.
going to search for it.
Yes.
Henry Gaddis.
Henry Gaddis. I remember his name very, very well. So, but going far, he was a young man. He was very young. He was like probably, at that time, probably in his late 30, 32.
So he probably still
late
alive.
30,
Probably
so
still alive.
Yeah, probably, he might be about 70 years old now, so he's still a middle-aged guy. But anyway, going forward, I left and a little bit disappointed, but happy that at least I reinstated it.
Yeah.
I come back here, got back to IIT.
But hold
registered.
on. How was your mom's funeral?
Where was it?
How was the funeral?
Oh, it was sad. I've never seen my father cry before. You know, the first time I saw my father cry and literally lie down, and they buried my. You know, I went to the grave of my mother. I like spoke to my mom. My mom and I were very, very close. You know,
Yeah.
she really, really loved me. I don't know, you know, and I just told her, you know, I'm sorry. I promise you I'm going to come back, and now I come back. You're no longer here, but you know, just wish me all the best. And she bought always pray for me.
Yeah.
You know, so all the prayers.
Was it like a traditional funeral?
Yeah,
Do you go to
traditional
church? And,
No, not church. It was a traditional.
oh, you guys don't do church?
No, we had church. My mother from the 70s attended church.
Okay.
In fact, my father.
So how does the funeral proceedings here? Does the body goes to the church? Like,
No. It was mostly traditional.
or just
But-
go straight to the grave?
Yeah, they put her in the. My father had a house and there's a kitchen. You know, we call it kitchen, but like a annex to the house where they had a body. But they buried her before I came because I couldn't keep the body that long.
Oh,
They were
they
not
buried
embalmed.
her. Oh, so you never actually saw
No, I
the
saw about it.
funeral.
Oh no! Sorry, I didn't mix.
Oh, yeah, that's what I
didn't
was
mention
trying
that
to
part.
clarify. Oh.
Yeah, she was buried because she died. I couldn't go right away. I didn't have the money.
Got you.
So I had to wait
Got
and
you.
build
Okay.
the finances to go.
All right, so you're back in America now.
Yeah, I'm back in America and then went back to the Illinois Institute of Technology. Got to put in my application, but I couldn't register. I didn't have the means to pay.
Yeah.
You know, and I just registered, get him the letter from. He gave me the letter.
Yeah.
The new managing director to say he's being that he's on our scholarship. So I came in there.
Yeah.
A few other guys, engineers there, graduated from the same university here in Chicago, IIT.
Yeah.
So it was easy to just put him in the. So I registered IIT in the mechanical engineering program, and they accepted about 65% of my credit from the Ivory Coast,
Yeah.
and they never accepted any of my credit from the Liberia. So I had like 100 and close to 200 credit hours that I never accepted.
Okay.
IIT, I was pretty angry about it, but they told me that
You have to do it over.
yeah, because they say that any course that I did that said technology behind it, it will not qualify for an engineering course
In America.
in America. So bitterly, they told me, argue, and then they say, okay, we will let you do something called credit by examination. So
Credit by examination.
No, credit by examination.
Oh,
So
by examination.
yeah, so I pick a course. I say, I want to take the exam of this course and get a credit. Okay, but you can only make a B average. If you make less than B, it will not be accepted.
So
But
you
pay
told
for
them
the
you
course.
will just take the course
Yeah.
because you knew the material already.
So I know I could pass the courses. So I took like 6 courses and paid for them though. I did
Yes.
pay for them. They cost like $3,000. You pay for it, but you make a
$3,000
C,
US dollars.
US dollar. You pay
Which year
$3,000.
was this?
This was 1987.
So 1987.
88.
3 courses was 3,000. Was that a lot of money for
Oh,
education back then?
Here in America?
Yeah.
That was a lot of money.
3,000
A credit-
years.
Look, listen, watch it. A 1 credit hour IIT, those days were close to $400, $500, I think, per credit hour.
Wow.
So if you take 3 credit hours, so like $1,500.
$1,500. That's a lot of money.
So the double, I think the double that so that if you pass a class, you don't have to buy a book, do anything. So it saves you a lot of money. You don't have to go to class.
Okay.
So I knew I could pass those courses, so I took them. I passed all 3. But if you fail, you lose the money. You got to do the class, pay for it and go to do the class. So I did that. It really helped me to get my
Okay.
yeah. But now, here's where again the twist happened. Why IIT are still trying to find a job on the full time, and now the Liberian Electricity Corporation Scholarship.
It came through.
Yes, but you have to go to school full time, minimum 12 credit hours. Now I had a part-time job I was doing. Guess what I was doing those days? Driving school bus to make a living.
So you were driving school bus?
Yellow school bus, yeah.
While in mechanical engineering school?
While I started mechanical engineering school. But I transitioned to the law firm, right?
Yeah.
I'm already back in the law firm now.
Yeah.
So at the law firm, and when I went back at the law firm and school, I had to do full-time now. I had to do a full-time school and working full-time and going to school full-time. Anybody who had done it to know how much challenging it is.
Wow.
I was a single person, I lived myself, but it was very, very tough at those days. But I went through it and I was able to maintain the B. You had to maintain the B average.
To stay on the scholarship.
Yeah. So I maintained.
What were some of the subjects you were doing in mechanical engineering?
Don't remind me. One subject that my wife will remember, she and I remember, and some executives who graduated from IIT remember, they call it METM 326. Remember that course? METM 326. Every smart people in mechanical engineering failed that class, and I wanted to. I didn't feel I got a C, and I was still upset today. I had to do it twice to get a B. And Caroline, at the time we was dating, she used to go with me to class Saturday morning in Wheaton to pass that class. So one of the courses that we took, and we did a lot of math classes. As an engineer, got to do math up to bowling calculus. Difficult math.
So you did a lot of math,
a lot of science courses,
a lot of calculus,
a lot of physics, and then they started to do the mechanical engineering. We didn't do much chemistry. Yeah, but that course was the bridge between physics and chemistry. METM 326.
Okay.
They got to do with metallurgy. You got to do with all kinds of metal interaction from one metal to another. How you fuse them together. How you how you bond two metal together to get a bonding strength. Those calculations are very, very difficult. Those days, now that I understand it, not bad. But we did a lot of courses. I can't remember most of the courses as an engineer. So
how long did you spend in engineering school?
Oh, it took a little longer than I expected. But now, here is another bad part of the story. 1989.
1989.
When I was just in the flow, now working and going to school and doing everything.
Yes.
Anyway, civil war started in Liberia.
Okay, so that's where I wanted to lead it to. So in 1989, while in mechanical engineering school,
working full-time.
The Civil War broke out.
And at that time, they had not paid my school fees for like 3 semesters.
Wow, because of the Civil War back then.
Yeah, because we were given stipend to pay our rent. I had a roommate or another student who they sent here for the master program.
Yes.
And he and I lived. We had a choice to stay on campus or to live in an apartment. We decided to live in an apartment on the north side of Chicago.
Okay.
So in the
hold it right there. So in 1989, the Civil War broke out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's part 1. Catch part 2. We're going to go into the Civil War to where he became a director of mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
That you worked for many, many years.
Yeah.
And you have been married for many, many years. And I'm now sitting in your house doing this interview.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So catch part 2.